Before we begin on this video, I want to apologize for the sound quality. For reasons beyond my control, for this particular video, I couldn't use my usual recording setup, and the only microphone that I had was a very cheap USB one. The sound quality is terrible, but you know, when you're faced with the prospect of not having a video out or waiting for the problems to be resolved, I had to get the video out. So again, I'm sorry for the quality of the audio. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying in this. I did try and clean the audio up as best as I could, but if there's any questions that you want or regarding the review, then please leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Again, I apologise, and in the next video things will be back to normal. Okay, thank you. Let's get on with the show. Well, it's that time again, a new release of GhostBSD, so download it, get it installed, contribute to the project, and have a look at it. First off, we'll have a look what's changed in GhostBSD. GhostBSD is now based on FreeBSD 13 stable. Touchscreen support has been added. Very nice if you've got the hardware to run that. OpenZFS is now at 2.0. And accordingly, the installer has been improved to support OpenZFS 2.0. We've got a new icons theme and OpenRC service improvements. Other highlights, not on screen, are network configuration is done by DevD, new ZFS services have been added, and DevMatch and DevD are now fully functional. And here are some GitHub issues that have been completed. You can pause this if you wish to have a longer read. I'm just going to leave it on screen for a few seconds. And some pull requests open and merged. Again, you can pause this video to have a longer read, or you can indeed go to the GhostBSD website where it will show you the release notes for GhostBSD 21.04.27. If you've already installed GhostBSD and you wish to upgrade to the latest version, then in this case I installed a beta version prior to release, and I want to upgrade to the final version, to the release version. But first I'm going to create a boot environment backup, just in case anything goes wrong and I want to roll back. There's already one made there, so I'm just going to delete that one or destroy that one. This is one of the beautiful things about ZFS, it's just you can make a snapshot prior to any major alterations, just in case it goes wrong. You've got a working system in your rollback. Now that's gone. I'm going to leave the default one there. I'm going to create a new snapshot. In this case, I'm going to call it old test. I don't know why, it just seems right, but in retrospect, maybe not. So there it is. I'm going to activate this new one, and if anything goes wrong with it, I can always roll back to the default. Alright, that's all done. Let's go a quick reboot. Right, let's log in. And as a kind of a spoiler, you'll see that some of the changes in the final release are already visible, so the new icons. But they were there anyway in the kind of beta. Then I'm just going to go into root. I'm just going to change something in the bootloader. I feel like I should change these back just in case. I was just messing around with some virtual machines. I'm going to leave that there. Now I'm going to edit the PKG. This is according to the instructions on the site, so I'm going to alter GhostBSD.conf, and I'm going to change the URL so that it now points to FreeBSD 13 stable. Copy that. up to that part there, paste it in, and this is the bit that we changed. It's now FreeBSD :13 AMD 64/latest. So I'll save that. All done. I'm just checking that the actual internet connection is working before we really start. And before we start, we need to bootstrap PKG. Just going to let it do its thing. It's already installed, but no, just in case. And now we're going to upgrade the available bits and bobs on the system. So again, we're just telling the system we're now switching over to FreeBSD 13 stable. We'll upgrade forcefully, and we'll fast forward. And yeah, there's quite a lot to do, so usually I would just fast forward this, but in this case I'm just going to skip to the end. There we go, almost finished. Right, now we're going to reboot just to make sure everything's loaded up properly and we're into the right libraries, etc. We don't want anything left over. Now we're just going to log in, and one final bit. Now this is a point of no return. At this point now you could still roll back to an earlier version, but once we issue this command, that's it. Your file system can't be rolled back. So we're going to go into root. Well, first we'll see the ZFS is there. This next command, like I say, once you issue this, there's no going back, so make sure that you want to do this. And it's zpool upgrade all. And there we go. Yours might be different, of course, and it may need to upgrade your zpool. Now we're going to do uname, and there we go. On 13 stable. Very nice. And that is following the guide by Eric on the GhostBSD website. I'll leave links in the description down below. Another way to experience GhostBSD is to install it from scratch. And I'm doing this on the test machine, the specs on screen. And this is from the usual ISO to a USB device, which I'm now going to boot onto. There we go. And we're greeted with the usual GhostBSD desktop, although there is a slight difference. The icons have changed, like it said in the release notes. I'm used to these icons anyway because I was using the beta version. But yes, it's very nice. Nice subtly blue to match the GhostBSD logo. Very nice indeed. Everything feels really quick and snappy. Well, it would do because I think it's loaded into RAM anyway. But for a live system, it's very nice. And the menus really don't change that much. The graphics are being tweaked a little bit, but it's generally the same from release to release, which is good because it's a certain amount of continuity. You know you are with GhostBSD. And we're on Mate 1.24.1. Right, so I'm just going down the menu items. I'm not going to read them out, but it's more or less what's always there. That's interesting, there's no email client. Office, although Evolution seems to be an Office. Don't know what's going on there. Glade, Sound and Vision, yeah. Everything is pretty much as it were since the last release. And the system monitor is chugging along nicely. You're going to get a lot of RAM because it's based in there. And there's the specs. Very nice. Right, we're going to start the install. And again, things don't change dramatically, either in FreeBSD or GhostBSD. When something works, you keep it. I think that's a good philosophy. No change for the sake of change, which is something I think that Linux and Linux distributions do all the time. And you can go from a good version to a broken version in the next upgrade. But anyway, so I'll just click on English UK. And up a bit, up a bit, up a bit. There we go. Full disk configuration or custom. We're going to go for full disk. when we're installing, we're going to be doing ZFS anyway, so it lays it out for you. Single disk, yep. Oh, just need a single disk. Full name, we're just going to call it, I'm just going to leave it as ZRoot. Leave that as it is. Select the drive we're installing on. And next, type in the super secret password. Like it tells you, it's super weak. Very nice. As if I didn't know. Next. Real name. Well, in this case, it's only a test machine, so we're just going to put RoboNuggie. And it fills it out for you, always, except for that, which I want to change to test. Password. And select fish automatically, which I'm not keen on, so I like the good selection. I like the vanilla SH. And we'll just leave it to do it. Right, all done. Restart, and we can have a good look around. Log in, and here we go. Okay, I'm not going to go through the menu again because I've already done that. But one thing we will do is, for those who may be interested, we'll have a look at the background, the wallpapers, etc. It loads up. There we go. These seems to be the standard that you get in every GhostBSD. There's no GhostBSD branded one, which is a shame. And here's the themes and the fonts. And I'm my tired old eyes, so I'm just going to change to a slightly bigger font. And yeah, that's not the same. Very nice. Printer settings, update station. And we'll see if there's any updates because we've only just installed it, but you never know. Oh, there is. Oh, 14 upgrades. So look. Click on that. There's the installer and some user and libraries. Okay. Very good. We'll install them. And while it's doing that, I just want to check something. When I made the boot environment backup when we did the upgrade, I did that manually. Now, if you notice now, a new backup's being made on this install. You can't see the clock up there, but it's just been made now. And that's because we started to upgrade the system. It automatically makes one for you, which I think is a fantastic little thing that GhostBSD does. It makes an automatic backup when you upgrade the system. Brilliant. Anyway, here's top. You know, and things are chugging along nicely. There's nothing extraordinary. It's not a huge amount of memory being used, considering that we're doing some upgrades and stuff like that. It's all very nice. And if we have a look at ZFS list, you can see there's the backup there. That's really nice. I like that. It's a really good feature. And also, while we're waiting for it to finish, I'm just going to turn off the screensaver because there's nothing more annoying when you leave it and I'm recording the screen and it goes off after 5 minutes. Really annoying, so just get rid of that. We shouldn't be... Oh, it's finished anyway, that's nice. I'll just do another restart. If you're thinking, oh my goodness me, all these restarts are just as bad as Windows. Well, you know, it's to make sure things get loaded in properly. Right, one final boot and we'll be in the system properly. There we go. We should have a new FreeBSD 13 based GhostBSD install that's been fully upgraded or updated. I'm just going to move these icons over. It's another little bugbear of mine. I like them to be on the right hand side. And there we are. We have a really nice desktop, nice and clean. We'll have a look at, we've done the upstate station, we've done that one, so we'll have a look at software station. Now this is the nice graphical way to install packages in GhostBSD. You can do it the old fashioned, you can do it the other way using terminal if you wish, but some people like to only use GUI interfaces, which is fine. GhostBSD comes with a really nice one there, so just going to look for some, I would say there were staples of any desktop. and that's an Office suite. And it was removed from the base install of GhostBSD a couple of releases back. They did that so it could fit into 4 gigabytes of memory, as the live system, which is fine. Yeah, that seems to be the base standard. Once the base standard becomes 8, then they might put it back in. Audacity, and it's an earlier version, although 3.0 has just come out, I think, so I'll be checking that out later. Inkscape, of course. To me, Inkscape is invaluable when it comes to doing YouTube channel artwork. Kdenlive, another indispensable tool. It's going to pull in quite a nice mixture, so it's going to leave that to its thing. Right, all done. Should be installed. I'll have a look in a minute. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to add on, actually. Isn't it always the way you finish doing it, you have to go back because you forgot something? Oh, yeah, that just disappeared then. Okay, we'll start it up again. Alright, okay, do it this time. I'm going to do my old, I was going to install my old favourite Linus. It may not be the world's best measure or metric of system safety, but it's a good benchmark. You have to have a benchmark somehow, and if you keep it consistent if you use the same program on different operating systems. So, just going to make this bigger actually. There we go, nice speaker font. Just going to go into root, so I'll need to access some areas that only root can, and we're going to Linus audit system. We're running the latest version as well, which is pretty cool. It's usually 56 when you do a base FreeBSD. So I'll look at this. Just scroll up a bit. Oh, very nice. 62. Not the highest in the world, but not bad. Firewall by default, which is good. Right. Now we're going on to what we're going to look at. I've installed Sulfeed. I like Sulfeed as an email client. It's quite lightweight and it's old school, but it gets the job done. Oh yes, Cordy. We'll have a look at Cordy. Because one good thing I like about GhostBSD, it would make well, not exactly lightweight, but it would make a very good, easy front end for a home theatre PC. So Cordy, I'm testing it out. It's everything feels really smooth and fluid. And there's the specs. Version check error. Yeah, well, it would do because I haven't set things up. And there's the kernel information. Yeah, very nice. That will make a really good front end for a home theatre PC. And one more thing, we're just going to try something else. Oh, it disappeared again. Okay, we'll load it up. Okay. Oh, did it again. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the log files for that. Some error messages. I think this relates to that. And it seems to be a problem with Python 3.7. So Eric, if you're looking at that, I know you probably need the core dump, but if you can look at that and try and get some information out of that, then hopefully it might help. Because it's something that I've noticed once or twice before. I always thought it was my system, but it might not be. Because then again, it might be. And in the magic of video making, I've installed some games. So you didn't see me do that, but it's wonderful how you can do it off the camera. And Mindtest. I absolutely love Mindtest. I set a server up with my kids running FreeBSD. and they can log on to the game whenever they want to. It's absolutely brilliant. And you know they're going to be safe because they're not going to be talking to people who might not be very nice. So just log into the machine. And I've already got a machine logged into it, so if you see someone called Dad, that's me. RoboNuggie. Okay. And Dad is the, he's got the godlike powers. And, okay, big screen there. Oh, very nice. It runs really nicely. And, yeah, I forgot where I am now. Oh yeah, there you can see in the distance a character called Dad. Well, that's me. So I'm just going to go up there and say hello to me. I do like mind testing. It's like free version. We get loads and loads of mods on it. It's absolutely brilliant. And there I am, talking and looking at me. So yes, mind test works well, which is good as a client, running on a FreeBSD box. And another one is 0AD. Now, I haven't got a lot of experience with 0AD. It's something which I will look into. It's turn-based RPGs, or whatever they call them. And it runs really well, so something that I'll be looking at later. And getting my backside kicked, no doubt. Very nice. Thoughts? Ah dear, we get to this point again. Well, it's GhostBSD. Probably one of the easiest and easily accessible versions of FreeBSD you can get. Although technically it's not FreeBSD, but it's based upon FreeBSD. Where out of the box you get a workable desktop, a various supply of applications, still minus the LibreOffice, but they've done that for technical reasons. You don't get any games, but using the GUI installer, package installer, you can easily get them, and you get some good games too, all the latest versions. So there's that. I haven't looked at Steam, but I know that Eric, the developer, has been making good strides in integrating Wine and Steam, but not only Wine version of Steam, but also the Linux version of Steam, which via the Linux layer. So he's made good strides on that. There's a video on his website, on the GhostBSD site, highlighting him playing, I think it was Counter-Strike, It's relatively easy to set up and will allow you to play some of your favourite games on FreeBSD and GhostBSD. So there's that. And yeah, it's weird. I want, every time a GhostBSD release comes out, and this is in no way a bad thing. I struggle to highlight the highlights. Not that because there isn't any, it's because the highlights really don't shift from release to release. Like you say, for instance, you could get an Ubuntu release of Linux, and you might get one version blows your socks off, absolutely brilliant, and another version, well, you ask yourself what went wrong. But with GhostBSD, I don't get that. I get one consistent release after another after another. Small incremental improvements. And while that is absolutely, and it really is fantastic for someone who runs FreeBSD on the desktop and via GhostBSD, it's a bit of a nightmare for YouTube reviewers because each version, me in particular, because each version isn't different enough. So you have to talk about a different aspect, which is absolutely fine. It's the way it should be. Are there any problems with this release? Well, there was an issue regarding the PKG installer. It would just disappear, as you saw several times. Now, I don't know whether that is a problem with Python. I think it is. I've had that once or twice before. It's not a major thing. And it does seem to be fairly random, so I don't know why that is. But I can give some logs if the developer wants to see them. I do have it's not a vested interest in GhostBSD. I am a patron of GhostBSD. I think it's like $5 a month. It's not going to break the bank. I have limited finances, but I want to support GhostBSD because of the work that they do and the help it was in educating my children over the various lockdowns we've had in the UK. Now, GhostBSD, I could have put any operating system, of course. I wanted to put a FreeBSD based OS on, and I could have used FreeBSD, but I wanted to quickly get a system up and running with a desktop and that I knew was secure. So GhostBSD were on 6 machines, and they've run consistently ever since. In fact, they're still running now, and I can't fault that. So I decided I wanted to be a patron, as well as donating whenever I download the ISO. Because I think that what Eric does and the development team at GhostBSD, what they do is invaluable. They advance the notion that FreeBSD can be a desktop OS, and it can be. You can do the work yourself. You can manually install desktops and applications, etc., or you could use the desktop installer, which is another fantastic tool, which I've already looked at, but I'll have a look at in the next few videos. But they also push it via a ready-to, almost like a takeaway, ready-to-eat meal that you don't have to worry about. I'm going to stop using food analogies, make myself hungry. But yes, anyway. So yes, another solid release from GhostBSD. Brilliant as always. Fantastically smooth, very well finished and defined, and something I would recommend to anyone. In fact, I've got a new spare machine in the office, if you can call it an office, but a new spare machine. That is going to be running GhostBSD all the time. So I've got quite a few machines running FreeBSD, of course, but this one will be running GhostBSD all the time. And the reason for that is, of course, I can now do more tutorials on that. So anyway, hopefully this was interesting. If not, then wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay, I'm just joking. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. So check out the links in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.